my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I've got another tea talk video to share with you guys. Originally, I was going to film a February favorites video, but then I thought, you know what, no. This is going to be more fun, and I got a ton I want to talk about. So before we get into that, let's talk about the tea. I've got my Louisa May Alcott mug. Around the rim here it says, "I'd rather take coffee than compliments." Love that. And the actual tea I have here is from Tetley, and it's the Super Herbal Tea Immune with lemon, echinacea, and zinc. And then it says on the can here, zinc contributes to the normal function of the immune system, which, considering it's still cold and flu season, that sounded like a good choice in teas. Plus, I mean, it's Tetley. You can't go wrong. They have fantastic teas. And I was excited to try one of these new ones, the Super Herbal Teas. There was a few different ones, but I can't remember what they were. But I'm sure I'll try them as the months go on. So, yes, I want to say jump on into it, because that's what I say, but it's also what Philip Franco says, and I'm sure he's been saying it longer, and I probably say it because he says it on some subconscious level. And then every night when I watch the Philip Franco show, I make a mental note. I say, don't say that. And then my next video comes and I say it. And then I saw Graveyard Girl. She was kind of making fun of how she says it as well. So then she said, let's scuba dive on into it. And okay. So cheers to finding a new segue into videos. Thing that I wanted to mention was the other day I went into my creator studio on YouTube and I was looking at my dashboard, and when I was there I realized that I have uploaded over 600 videos. So that's averaging, I've been on here now for 3 years, so that's over 200 videos a year. That's a lot of content. Wow, I was surprised when I saw the number. So that's kind of neat. Also, today, if you're a fan of Kathleen Lights, like I am, you may have noticed that she uploaded a video. I think it was called My Thoughts on Kale Polish. I know I mentioned in one of my videos not too long ago that Kathleen had announced that kale polish was coming to an end. And everyone was kind of surprised and sad about it. So in today's video, she kind of just breaks down why it's coming to an end. And she got really emotional in the video, and that then caused me to get really emotional while watching the video. And it's just really sad that things had to go that way. She said that she was working with business partners who were kind of, you know, silent partners just behind the scenes. And that eventually, after a while, you know, at first they were receptive, but then after a while they kind of just started treating her like she was some little girl, and they were making decisions without talking with her about it. You know, she doesn't give specific examples, because I really feel like, and she also made it pretty clear that it's a lot of legal reasons regarding what she can and cannot say, but it was really heartbreaking to see her so visibly upset about losing control of her brand like that. And while she didn't say it in the video, I heard on Twitter from, I think, the Tea Spill channel, I think she's found out or seen that it looks like Kathleen's going to be starting a new brand for nail polish, and that brand is going to be called Lights Lacquer, and that's so exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait. Kale polish was amazing, and if you loved it and you're in America, all the polishes are on sale, so you could stock up and get some good deals. Unfortunately, it's not shipping to Canada. That was one of the things she mentioned in her video, how over the summer, just abruptly, the business partners stopped shipping to Canada, and she was distraught about that. So that's good to know that that wasn't Kathleen's decision, because I had ordered every release up until when I couldn't anymore. So yeah, if Light Slacker is going to be a thing, I am very excited about it and can't wait to see what she does with that brand. So cheers to Kathleen, and I hope the new venture is just as successful as the first one was. Cheers. To mention two channels that I have been absolutely loving recently. They're bigger channels. Sometime next week I'm going to put up a small creator shout out video, just because I love making those videos. I love sharing the love with my friends on here. You know, I've met so many amazing women and men, and I love being able to just spread the love for their channels. So I'm going to be doing that next week, but for today there's two major channels I wanted to talk to you guys about, just in case you didn't know about them and they sound like something that might interest you. They're certainly not going to interest everyone. I feel like I give that sort of disclaimer anytime I mention a bigger channel, just because I know some of my tastes are a bit weird, and that's just how it is. But the two channels I've been loving, number one is Red Letter Media. They're a group of guys that live, I think, in Wisconsin, and they put up content mainly about movies. They do movie reviews and just all kinds of really interesting things having to do with movies. They run a few different series on the channel. One's called Best the Worst, but my absolute favorite is Half in the Bag. It's when two of the guys from the group, Mike and Jay, sit and do like a really in-depth review of a film, usually anywhere from half an hour in length to an hour. I love that. I love a good long review. And with these Half in the Bag videos, I will watch them even if it's a movie I've never heard of, a movie I have heard of and don't care about. I just love listening to them talk about it. And their personalities are very funny. Like, Mike is my favorite. He's very dry. He's very, just very funny. And Jay is kind of a good counterpart to him. They balance each other out pretty well. And they're just fantastic, and they do a lot of science fiction, horror reviews. And I don't really watch a lot of science fiction movies, but I will watch their hour-long review on a science fiction movie that I don't care about, just because I love hearing them talk. And so there's that. So if you love movies and really long movie reviews given to you from a couple of guys who live in Wisconsin, definitely check out Red Letter Media. And the second channel is Emilia Fart. I was watching a video of hers the other day. I don't know which one it was, but when I listen to her, especially when she's kind of in her bit of panic mode, like she's been in LA recently, just sort of uploading some videos about how she feels as though she's an imposter and what is she doing there, and just kind of frantically talking about how she doesn't understand why things are going so well. I can relate to her on some levels. I can relate to her in a lot of levels, but in that myself, I'm very calm. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm not excessively loud or talkative. So I said to my husband, I said, Emilia is like my inner thought process. So this is what you see on the outside, and then the inside is Emilia. And I just love her videos so much. Emilia is the kind of content where you cannot take it at face value. You're gonna watch it and you're gonna think, this is insane. But then usually at the end of each video, she sort of comes back in and she speaks and she says things that are so profound and so beautiful and so heartwarming, and it really just ties it all together. And I just love her a lot, and I think if you like weird, crazy content creators, you would love Emilia. So those are my two suggestions for now. Red Letter Media, top-notch movie reviews. Emilia Fart, top-notch weirdo content. Love it. So there you go. There's that. Cheers. The final thing that I wanted to talk about today is that yesterday Luke Perry passed away. He was probably most famous for his role as Dylan McKay on Beverly Hills 90210 back in the 90s. And currently he's starring as Fred Andrews in the Netflix series, I think it's a Netflix series, Riverdale. And that hit me harder than I thought it was going to. When I was a teenager in the 90s, my family and I, we moved around a lot. From city to city, from province to province. And during that time, 90210 was on the air. And it became kind of a constant amidst a sea of change. Things were constantly changing, but the characters that lived in Beverly Hills, they were always the same. And because of that, they formed a really special place in my heart. As I got older, as a teenager, like more 16, 17, music kind of took that spot. But as a young teenager, like 13, 14, Beverly Hills 90210 just came into my life at the right time, and that became it. And I know we all loved Dylan, didn't we? If you were a teenager in the 90s and watched Beverly Hills 90210, you loved Dylan McKay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He was the one from that show. And from all reports, I've always heard him described as a very kind-hearted, likable man, and that just made it even sadder, doesn't it? So I saw some sort of funny posts going around Facebook yesterday, a couple of which I shared, that said things like, one said like, guys, if your wives or girlfriends grew up in the 90s, check on her, she's not okay today. And another one said, be kind on social media today, everyone's mourning the loss of their first imaginary boyfriend. And I just thought those were funny. So yeah, such a shame too. He was only 52. That's just awful. And yeah, he's got 2 kids. He's got a son who I think's like in his early 20s, and then a daughter who's in her late teens, I think. And it's so too bad. And I have many fond memories of Luke Perry and the cast of 90210 helping me through first days at new schools and last days in new homes as we packed up to move once again. And it might be silly to form an attachment to that, but when you're a kid and you have no control over a lot of things that change, you take what you can get. You find it where you can, you know, and that was one of the things for me. So rest easy, Luke Perry. Very sorry to hear of that, and I hope his family can find some comfort. So before we go, let's have one final cheers. So that's going to do it for me for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tea talk video. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on everything that's going on with Kale Polish? Do you watch Red Letter Media or Emilia Fart? If you do, what are your thoughts on them? Did you watch 90210 when you were a kid? Do you watch Riverdale now? My dog is being a nuisance. Let's chat about it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you on Friday with another book talk video. Until then, bye guys.